Hi, my name is Brennan, and I want you to imagine that you wake up one random morning and you open your phone and it has no internet. That means you can't communicate with your bosses, friends, family, you can't check your banking account, and you can't look up those simple questions you have every day online. This is a reality for millions of people across the world. They don't have internet access. So I'm here to persuade you why the internet access should be considered a basic human necessity. And I feel like I'm credible to talk about this because I am a student in this modern education system. I am a kid who's grown up with the internet all my life, and I rely on it for multiple parts of my life. And I feel like you guys should care about this topic because in one way or another, you use the internet every day. Whether that's one way or multiple ways, you use it every day. So to begin, let's talk about how having internet access affects our modern day education system. Students depend on the internet a lot more than they have in previous years. It's increasing at a rapid rate every year on how many students complete homework assignments online or at home after school hours. They need the internet access to complete those assignments. According to a Pew Research Center analysis, 58% of 8th graders use the internet at home to complete their homework assignments or ask questions to their teachers, whether that's through email or some other school communication system. And another stat that we have is according to the UNESCO, 43% of students did not have any internet access when they went home. So that means during COVID they couldn't submit their assignments, they couldn't talk to their teachers and ask questions. And if you can't do either of those things, you can't really complete those courses because you need those internet accesses when you're at home to complete those assignments. And now that you know how having internet access affects your education and helps and benefits it, let's talk about how it affects our employment. You could use the internet to submit job applications, talk to your coworkers, and talk to your bosses if you have any questions about your working situation or scheduling situation. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Stats, bosses use the internet to announce when they're hiring and give other job announcements. And applicants can send their applications to get hired. And this helps our economic system grow because that means more and more people are getting employed, making money, and helping our economic system worldwide and nationally. And according to the United Nations University, expanding digital internet access helps provide economic inclusion, which in the end promotes more and more economic growth because more people are getting jobs. And now that you know how the internet affects our employment and education, let's finally talk about how it affects our communication and acquiring information. We use the internet every day to communicate with friends, family, whether they live across the country or live across the world, or whether they're just in your backyard. You use the internet every day to communicate with multiple people, whether that's friends, family, or bosses. And according to the International Telecommunication Union 2025 facts and figures, 6 billion people use the internet every day worldwide. That's 6 billion, that's 3/4 of the population. But that also means 1/4 of the population does not have any internet. That means they can't do any of that education with online classes, they can't apply for jobs online, they can't text family members or friends. 2.2 billion people don't have that worldwide. That's 1/4 of our population. And with something like the internet, that should be considered a basic necessity because 6 billion people use the internet every day just to ask simple questions too. They use Google, they use Firefox, they use Chrome, they use all that to ask simple questions that they have every day. But for the people that don't have that internet, they have to go to some library, read through hundreds of pages of books just to figure out one question that they have. And now that you know all this and how having internet access benefiting all these different areas of our life. And to close, let's review our points. We've talked about how the internet affects our education system, how the internet affects our employment situations, and how the internet affects our communication and acquiring information now. Now, the internet access is too important just to save it for 3/4 of the population of this world. The internet deserves to be in the hands of every person that runs this earth because either way, it benefits all of us together, whether that's economically, through our students and education, or just communication in general. Everyone deserves to have an opportunity to succeed in this world.
Good job, guys.